right, there she is. How
Hi,
are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely, of course.
So, where are you based? For
Or
people who don't know.
I am based in New Brunswick, Canada, so it's in the East Coast in the city of Moncton. So it's a smaller city, but yeah, so this is where I was born and raised.
Nice. So,
Yeah.
give us some insight on like your fitness journey and like how you got started.
Fitness journey. So I actually started way back when I was 13, 14 years old. I started going to the YMCA, if some of you guys are familiar with that gym. It's been around forever. And I actually started doing like Zumba classes way back. So it's something that like piqued my interest for like more of a fitness. And then when it started doing that, I took my course as a Zumba instructor very, very young at the age of 16. And once I wanted to do more than just cardio, I wanted to really see like a change physically. So I decided to hit the weights. And I mean, from there, I've never stopped.
Nice.
So
So, I know you're pretty serious about your fitness and it's like a way of life. And tell us a little bit about like your routine. Like, what's that look like? Are you training like 6 days a week? Like, give us some insight.
it varies sometimes depending on my schedule. Obviously, everybody has a life, has jobs, and you get quite busy. But right now, I'm looking at 5 days a week. I'm also trying to shred a little bit more. So usually, January, a lot of people are going to take that to bulk. But for me, I'm going on vacation, so I'm trying to shred a little bit more. So 5 times a week, I'm usually going to hit leg days and glutes 3 times a week, and then upper body for twice. And if I can add an extra workout for a 6 day, it's going to be like a spin class, or also I still teach my classes for Zumba, so I'm going to have some type of cardio added in there as well.
Nice. So, for all the girls out there that are trying to glow their glutes, I know like 99.9% are. What kind of tips can you give them?
Don't be afraid to eat. I mean, a lot of people think that like if you don't eat and go to the gym, all of a sudden like you're just gonna stay this petite, but you really have to eat. You have to give the body like what it needs for nutrients to really grow. And don't be afraid to put some weight on. Like I've seen some girls at the gym. Sometimes I'm like, you can go up a plate. You can add an extra 45. Like don't afraid to look also stupid in the gym. That's something I was afraid. I'm like, what if I look like I'm trying too hard, or I'm not looking cute? But at some point, you just have to just get your workout done and do it for yourself. Yeah.
What do you think about like bringing in cardio exercise when you're trying to grow your glutes? Like, would you scale it back or would you keep the cardio going?
Um, it depends on your goal. Cardio is always good. I mean, it's good for cardiovascular, so like your heart. So I always recommend doing some cardio. I usually finish with some cardio. So, like just like 10 minutes just on the treadmill, incline treadmill is really good for you. So it really depends. Some people doesn't do it at all, and I mean, it's not gonna have a huge effect on your final like how you look in the end, but you can have preference, I guess. Yeah.
What's your go-to like grow meal for you? Like when you're trying to grow that booty, what is your go-to?
My go-to, so usually I'm gonna eat like I get in that dog mindset. That's how I call it. I eat the same thing for like a month or 2 months. So in the morning, it's going to be like my avocado toast with eggs. And for lunch, it's often going to be sweet potato fries that I'm going to like bake, and broccoli and chicken.
Mm.
And I pretty much eat the same thing for supper. And sometimes I'm going to have some pasta in there. So yeah, you just eat a lot, and you have to eat a lot of protein. Protein intake is super important.
How many meals are you getting in a day?
Right now, because I'm shredding, I'm usually gonna fast in the morning. So I'm not gonna eat like very early when I wake up. I'm gonna wait around like 12. Then I'm gonna have my first meal of the day. I'm gonna snack in between. So either have a protein shake or something like that. Actually, some of my favorite from Nutrabolics. And in the between that at night, I'm gonna do my workout when I'm fasting pretty much, because like in between my snack and at night, I'm gonna be in like almost ready to eat, and after my gym, I'm gonna eat at night. Yeah,
Mm.
that's usually how it
Do
goes.
you have like something that you're working towards where you want to be in like tip-top shape? Like, do you have a goal in mind of a summer, spring, something coming up?
I mean, I'm going to Brazil very soon, so that's a goal. I'm trying to look I'm always trying to be as healthy and as fit looking like, you know, everybody says like, you know, you want to be healthy for the purposes of being healthy, but you also have the personal goals of like, everybody has an influencer, I guess, out there that they love the look and you want to achieve that look. But for me, I'm just trying to really maintain what I have going on, maybe have more of the shredded and abs look, which is a little bit harder. So that's what I'm going for.
Tell us a little bit about your Nutrabolic stack right now. What's that look like?
So I actually brought it with me here to show you guys because I wasn't gonna go downstairs, but so this is usually the protein I go for. So this is one of you guys' newest actually flavor, which is super good. Usually I'm someone who's gonna go more of a vanilla, but salted caramel is still super good. You can mix that with like almond milk, and it's just super easy to intake. Just take that down. Protein is never be afraid to take too much, pretty much. In the morning, Nutrabolics. Even like would take that even at night if I'm going to like a party, I'm going to hang out with friends. This is something that like instead of having like an energy drink or something, it's gonna keep me awake, and it's also just doesn't make you feel like I don't know, tingly like other drinks or stuff like that. And I'm someone who when I get home from the gym, I'm still super powered up from like my workout. Usually I finish around 8 or 9. I'm gonna have my sleep pack. So this is like something that usually takes away the anxiety, my shakes, and just can just get me down and put me to bed pretty much. So
Nice.
yeah.
So are you taking the protein just after you work out, or like when would you consume protein?
In between my day, or if I'm super starving before my workout. Like even you guys' protein bars, I finished those the second I got them. They were super good.
What was your flavor? What was your go-to flavor?
It's the oats and chocolate. It has like the chocolate on top. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, those
Chocolate
like
coconut, bro.
yeah, there you go. I'm someone who loves coconut, so those were the one of my top favorites. And yeah, right before the gym, if I'm like for sure want something, but it's usually in between the day that I'll try to have like a protein intake for that.
Nice. And do you ever get like fatigued? Like, do you ever feel like you're burning out? And how do you sort of snap out of that and, you know, kind of come through? You know, what's your tricks and secrets you could let us know about?
Something I recommend is listening to your body. Like usually in the month of December, I'm gonna be working a lot more, so I kind of like I listen to my body. If I feel too tired and it's just gone to the point where like getting to the gym is just too much, you just take some break. You know, if you want to take a week break after like working out constantly, it's okay. Like sometimes your body needs that like readjustment and that rest. So yeah, I would just say listen to yourself, but also if it's just out of laziness, you need to know how to differentiate in between the two. Of like, yeah, if it's just you being lazy or you just wanting to be like having some actual rest because it's too much.
Then you could just take a scoop of Supernova
There
Infinite.
you go. Yes, that's true.
Right?
Then you're good to go.
Change the whole game right there, right? Everything just is, you know. So yeah. So let us know a little bit about too, like in terms of like, you know, you taking nutrabolic supplements, and you know, how has it impacted your sort of like performance? Can you give us some insight on that?
Yes, for performance, I mean, for me, the one that makes the most difference is really the metabolics, completely honest. Because I'm someone who struggles with like ADHD, but I'm not on medication. So this is something that's going to keep me sharp. I see a huge difference where I'm not going to feel as hazy and all over the place. It's really going to keep me focused, and get me up and going, and not going to have a huge crash of energy. Like for the Supernova, it's great if you're like right before your workout, but this is something I constantly take, and I see like just the like it just remains the same, which I like a lot. So this is something I've noticed from taking that, and also just having a better sleep with the sleep hack. So I find if you're like up and ready to go in the morning, and then you have something to kind of get you down at night, have a full night's sleep, you're going to be able to keep in a tight schedule, and yeah, just keep doing the same thing, which is good. Consistency. Sorry, I'm French, so don't mind.
Tell us a little bit about your cardio routine. Like, what does that look like when you're like, say, you know, you're trying to grow and you're trying to cut? Like, give us the differentiation on what that looks like.
When I'm trying to grow, I'm not going to do as much I mean, at all cardio. I usually just try to work out as much weights as possible and eat a lot more. So I'm probably gonna have like 4 meals a day. Usually when I do try to bulk, after when I shred, I'm gonna try to do a lot more sauna as well, and fasted sometimes in the morning for my cardio. So I'm gonna try to get up and do some. I did some spin classes as well recently where. I mean, you're completely fasted in the morning. It hits a lot different, and I feel you get a lot shredder much quicker. So this is something I would do.
Like when you're trying to cut, do you have like a magic number of like time you're trying to get in cardio? Is it like 60 minutes, 45 minutes, or it just
Minimum 30. If I'm like doing weights before, I'm going to try to do cardio right after for 30. If it's just a cardio day for like a class, it's going to be at least an hour. Yeah.
And do you like for people out there, especially the women that are like, they want like a tip on like a specific type of cardio? Like, do you have something that you would consider like your like go to, like this is the cardio that's going to get me absolutely dialed in? Like when you want to get shredded, what is that? What are you doing?
Um, I mean, there's so many different directions to go into. So it depends what you're looking for. If you want to feel like you're not working out and you're having a great time, I mean, Zumba is great, or if you have like any type of aerobic classes type of thing with music, those are great. You really feel like you're just doing a party and you don't really realize and the hour goes by super quick. If you want something that's more of a challenge, spin classes are extremely hard on the head and they push you to your limits. So that's something I recommend that I've seen the most difference in. You finish a class and you're defeated. But for something else, I would just say just taking a walk, something that's just it's just as easy. You can do cardio anywhere, anytime. It's yeah. So that's what I would do.
And then with the fasted, when you're fasted, are you taking in like the Supernova Infinite? Are you taking in coffee? What's that look like?
No, just the Vitabolics in the morning, and I mean that's pretty much it. I'm gonna drink a glass of water, and there's nothing else that goes into my body until after.
Nice. And have you found like how long have you been doing the fasting?
Fasting I started just about 4 weeks ago now. Before that, I would try to eat at least something in the morning. It's usually something small, but right now I just try not to eat until like 12.
Nice. Have you tried to push it? Like I've been trying these like smaller windows where I'll like fast till 4 and
Yeah.
from like 4 till 8,
Yeah.
like I'm kind of like my body, I find like the 20 and 4 like really like works. Like I start to notice like big changes. Have you tried to like push it past 12 kind of thing or?
I have, but it wasn't on purpose. So I usually, if I get super busy, all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, it's like 3 o'clock and I haven't ate anything yet. But I'm like, you know what? I was able to do it. So it's just not something I technically planned, but I'm capable of doing for sure.
Mm. Do you have any motivation for people out there who are, they just need a little bit of motivation? Maybe they're down right now, they're kind of like not in the shape that they want to be. There's a lot of people out there, maybe they've fallen off for whatever reason. Like what kind of motivation can you give them to kind of get back on track and get into it?
I mean, I can give an example of what I usually do because, like, everybody can see us as like, oh, like you will never like, have a down moment. But we do. I mean, we're all human and we all get our like times in space where we're like, you know what, I don't know why I'm still going. You just have to re-find your why and like why you first started or why did you ever want to start. And you really have to set that down. It's just like any other goal. Just like you can see fitness as a business goal almost in a way. Just put it down on paper, look at it, and just like this is something you have to do for yourself, and you have to put the work in just like anything else. And how much do you want it? Nobody else is going to do the work for you except yourself. So you just gotta. It's self-talk, and yeah, you have to find your why and just get it done. And the first 28 days. So I say this for pretty much everybody. It's like anything else. The first 28 days is going to be the hardest. You have to keep in consistency. After 28 days, it gets way easier because it's just part of your routine. But starting is the most difficult. After you started, just don't stop. Try not to. And you should be all right.
Nice. And for people out there who want to train with you, like, do they got to come to Moncton or do you do online training? Give us some insight on that.
So this is actually something I've been planning for 2024. I've been receiving a lot of inquiries on wanting to know my programs and stuff like that. I've actually never really made a specific program. I kind of just do my own workouts, and if girls want help, like I'll message them on Instagram and I'll give them some tips here and there. But usually I do just work out in Moncton. People sometimes come see me in the gym and ask me certain things or how to do certain exercises, but I'm planning to eventually get a program out or post a lot more of my workouts and be able to show what I actually do and what it looks like.
Why Moncton?
Why, why Moncton? I mean, I'm probably gonna go much bigger than just Moncton, but for now, this is where I'm. This is where I'm situated. This is where I'm living, but it might change one day. Yeah.
Have you been out to Vancouver?
Not yet. I've actually never visited Vancouver. It's something I want to do
You
for
gotta
sure.
put that on the list. You gotta,
Okay.
you know, amazing.
I've been to Toronto and some Ottawa and other big like places, but not Vancouver.
Well, my best friend lives in Moncton. He owns Richie's Floring. Have you heard of Richie's
Yeah,
Floring?
I'm actually very familiar with them. So
Yeah.
good.
So, yeah, so give us some insight, you know, as well, like for women out there, especially like, you know, there's a lot of women out there who are obviously debating, like, you know, what should I do? Should I work out in the morning? Should I work out in the evening? You know, what does it matter? You know, can you give us some insight on like when you think like people should be training for, especially like women that are, you know, not hardcore fitness women, just like women that are kind of just getting into it?
Right. So I mean, this can be all preference. So I have some of my sisters, for example, that are stay-at-home moms or they're a mom, so it can be a little bit harder. So if you are a mom and you're someone who's living at home, try to find a time where you have just find an hour in a day. If like you have a baby and the baby's asleep for an hour, doing that hour. If like in the morning is too difficult for you because it's like everybody's on the go, or you have things, that's okay. Or even at night once everybody is put to bed. So you really have to find just one, like it's 60 minutes. Sometimes it can look like a lot, but once you really like put it down and sit, like sitting down with your phone for 60 minutes, even if it's just a stay at like a home workout or going out for a walk or anything, you just have to really find in your schedule what works best and where not to be wasting your time instead of that 60-minute of workout you should be getting in. So for me, it's at night because in the morning, I'm someone who has a lot of a harder time waking up very early and going to gym before I would go to work. So I found that like after, it works better for me. But for some people, they're too tired after work, and that's okay. You just have to find somewhere in there where it works.
Do you ever have days where you're just like you don't feel like going to the gym, you're just like run down and you know, like what do you do? Like how do you get out of that funk?
I absolutely do. Oh, yes, especially with the change of temperature. I find like during winter, I mean, the sun goes down super early, and it's just you don't have that motivation that you do in the summer. You kind of just, I usually, everything I have on my phone is going to be related to what I have for goals. So, like, what you intake on your social medias, if it's constantly just other things than fitness, I find that, like, I mean, your focus could be on something else, but I'm going to be constantly seeing women posting their workouts, what I want to look like, you know, what it's constantly in my face, and I'm like, this is what I have to do. So it kind of gets me up and going. So it's a constant reminder of what I want. So sometimes I'll just sit there and watch motivation videos of girls that do their workouts, and I'm like, oh, I want my glutes to look like that. Let's go. And I get up and go.
Who's your motivation? Who do you turn to when you need to hear or see some motivation?
One of them is Stephanie. Oh my God, I can't remember her last name. She's I think she's a mom of three, but she's a huge influencer online. I know her first name is Stephanie. It's an odd last name. I can't remember it, but I do sometimes. I've tagged her before in some of my fitness posts, and she's commented on one of them actually. But she's one of the women that I usually go to, and I follow a lot of her workouts when I first started. Now I have a built routine, and I kind of know more what I'm doing. But at first, I mean, I would be at the machine and looking at my next exercise, and I mean, that's okay. If you don't know how to do an exercise, someone's showing it. Don't hesitate to just have a look and ask somebody. Yeah.
Do you have a dope Spotify list for music to get you going or
I do. Lately, oddly enough, I've been listening to country. I don't know why. um, Usually, I'm gonna listen to a lot more like Brazilian music. Actually, stuff that like really gets me pumping. It's something I do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you have any questions for me or for Nutrabolics? Anything at all?
Um, I mean, do you guys have any other new kinds of protein coming out soon, or anything else I should be getting?
Well, actually, you know what? We are working on releasing 2 flavors of the feed bar right now. They're coming off the production line. I can't let you know yet because they haven't been finalized, but trust me, these flavors, like we go through crazy testings. Like, you know, the taste of our Nutrabolic stuff. I mean, we like basically I have this motto that is if we have to ask people what they think, it's not good. Like people should just be telling us, wow. Like, you know, like, and that's sort of like why I think we've lasted 22 years because we put so much time and energy into the product. I mean, I always tell my salespeople, like, you shouldn't have to sell anything. The product is like, just sample it, you know, the product will sell itself. Like, so, and we are actually bringing back a product, a legacy product that's coming into the mix. And this was a very successful product for us. We're going to be releasing more news very shortly, but I'll tell you that it's a pre-workout and we're bringing it back under a new packaging. And this is the first time in 22 years we've ever done anything like this where we brought something back. Good. But due to the crazy demand that we've had for this, we had no choice. I had so many customers, people saying, where is this product? Da, 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 da. So it's coming back. And, you know, my partner, he does all the formulations, Rodney. So he's always busy working on different things. But so far, that's kind of what's in the pipeline for the next, you know, near couple months, I should say. And then, you know, with Nutrabolics, you know, we've got obviously a lot of events we're going to be attending this year and, you know, getting out there and, you know, meeting the fans and this and that. But, you know, before we wrap up today, is there anything you wanted to talk about that's going on, like in your life, or anything you wanted to promote, or anything at all?
I mean, other than like me having the plan to eventually come out with a program in a fitness where I can actually sell a program and show exactly all the women's out there that are reaching out, or even men that I can give tips to, I would absolutely love to. For me, though, I want to make sure that it's perfected before I finish and do it, type of thing. I want to make sure that it's still connected.
Where could people go to find out about this program?
I'm going to be promoting it on Instagram if possible, but I'm probably going to be looking into making somewhat of a website to be able to go on there directly. But it's going to be attached on bio, so it's going to be something. I'm not finalized on the like how it's going to look like, but I want to make sure that it's perfected. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to checking it out. You know. All right. Well, thanks for coming on Perform Podcast, Jolene. You've been a great guest. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. It was a pleasure to be talking to you. And I mean, I'm looking forward to all the additional products that you guys are going to come up with this year. So
perfect. All right. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.